I'm in Germany now. What board games did you want? I'm just back from Greece. These are the games I brought with me. They're all in shrink. I'm going to Italy next week. Who wants some new board games? These are the things that we see every day in Turkey. Why? Because since August 2024, our government doesn't allow board game imports with a strict limit of 27 euros, including shipping, making it extremely difficult for us to reach new board games. So when Turkish gamers have the rare chance to buy a new board game, that choice becomes incredibly important. Hello everyone, my name is Nezi. I'm a published board game designer and soon to be a publisher from Turkey. In each episode, I sit down with a gamer who has a large board game collection and I ask them the same question. Which 5 games would you choose to rebuild your board game collection from scratch and why? My guest this week is Jamey Stegmaier, founder of Stonemaier Games, one of the most influential board game designers and publishers in the community. Known for games like Sight, Wingspan, Wormspan, Finspan, and Viticulture. Now let's hear which 5 Stonemaier games he would choose to restart his collection.
Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and I'm here today to answer a few great questions from those of you in Turkey. So the first question is, what got me into the hobby? What was the first modern game that I played, and which modern board game really hooked me into the hobby? I have been playing tabletop games since I was a little kid. I was playing games that I consider still great games to this day, like Scotland Yard, Magic the Gathering, and Labyrinth, along with games that I don't play anymore, like Monopoly and Risk, but I still had fun with those games as a kid. I also, so I played games my entire life. As an adult, I would say the first time that I fully embraced the most common types of games that I play now, which are Euro style, medium weight Euro games in particular, was when I was introduced to Catan, and then soon afterward to Agricola, and then kind of snowballed from there. A few of the first games were Dominion, Libertalia, Stone Age, and Fresco. All of those really hooked me into the hobby. I would say of those, probably Agricola was the first one where I was like, oh, wow, there's something amazing going on here in the hobby. Catan I really enjoyed, but Agricola really opened my eyes to what a board game could be. Second question was, do you track your games? Roughly how many games have you played so far, and how many are in your personal collection? I have a little visual to show of this one. So this is of the games on Board Game Geek that I have rated. I have rated 1,320 games. So that is roughly the number of games that I have rated on Board Game Geek. In my collection of games, I probably have around 150 games. I know that sounds like a lot of games. It is a lot of games, but I try to keep as slim a collection as possible so that everything fits onto the shelves that I have in my condo. So yeah, I do not, part of the question was, do I track my played games? I don't track my played games. When I play a game, I rate that game, and oftentimes I'll return to that rating later if I end up playing the game again. The third question is, imagine that you've just moved to Turkey, leaving your entire board game collection behind. Your friend has offered to bring me 5 games on their next visit. How do I approach making such a crucial decision? What factors influenced your choices? And I've decided to answer this in the context of which 5 Stonemaier games, my company Stonemaier Games, which 5 Stonemaier games would I bring? And in no particular order, I will share them on this other screen. So first up, I would bring Apiary. So just to be clear, in fact, I'll pull this off the screen for a second. Just to be clear, I love all of the games that we make, including over here off camera. We have Smitten right here, Finspan, Tokaido. We make around 20 different games. I love all of these games. I truly do. I wouldn't put the time and effort into these games if I didn't love them. But for the framework of this question, I thought about trying to scratch different itches, as we might say in English, cater to different aspects of myself as a gamer and to those who I might be playing games with. And so the first game I chose is Apiary. This is a worker placement game. It's heavy on positive player interaction. It melds science with science fiction really well. And like all the games that I'll mention on this list, it has a lot of replayability. This is a medium weight Euro game with a high level of agency. And so all those things, I would say, you'll find other things in common with what I'm going to reveal next, but I think Apiary stands out as I could play this for a long time and have a great time playing it, and I would have fun teaching it. So that's apiary. Next up, we have Wingspan. It was tough to choose between Wingspan, Wormspan, and Finspan because I love all three games in our Span series for different reasons. But I chose Wingspan because it has the most stuff so far of all those games. I would try to include as many expansions as possible in this box so I could have a ton of bird cards to choose from and offering a ton of replayability as a result. This is a medium weight engine building game where you have the satisfaction of building this beautiful collection of birds as you play. So as a nature themed game, I would pick Wingspan. Next up, I would pick Tapestry. This is what I've always wanted a civilization game to be. And so I designed it. I wanted a civilization game that could let me design my own civilization from scratch, even if it meant that my technology is far more advanced than my military or aspects like that. I love the art from Andrew Bosley. It has 3 expansions similar to Wingspan. It has a lot of components that can fit even into the core box to provide a ton of replayability, including a high level of asymmetry because each player has their own capital city and their own civilization. I could see myself playing Tapestry over and over again for a long time with a lot of different people. Next up, we have what I think is probably our most played of our published games. It is the game that I've played the most, and this is Rolling Realms and Rolling Realms Redux, which is uses the same system as Rolling Realms, but adds new realms to the game. It also expands the original Rolling Realms. I've played this game so many times, and it doesn't get old because there's so many different combinations of the mini games, and all players are sharing the same 2 dice. So everyone, even though there's a lot of luck involved in what the dice are rolled, everyone's using those same dice to try to maximize these mini games. So I really love Rolling Realms and Rolling Realms Redux. The whole system I love, and I would bring that. And finally, a game that has not released as of the filming of this video, but will release this summer. This is Vantage. This is my open world cooperative game. Plays up to 1 to 6 players. I created a planet for this game. I worked with 3 amazing artists to create a whole entire planet of 800 unique first-person locations, over 7,000 different actions that I can take in the game, but distilled down to a 2-minute setup time. It's not a campaign game, so you crash on this planet in a different place, you play the game, you level up really quickly, and then the game is over after 2 to 3 hours. I have found that I don't get tired of Vantage. It doesn't ever get old to me, and I've played it so many times already. I played a lot solo, but I've also played with other people. It is what I've spent the last 8 years of my life doing, and I could see myself easily playing this game for a long, long time. It's also, while we do have a cooperative game in Smitten, this is our first major fully cooperative game from start to finish, designed from the ground up to be a cooperative game. Again, as was Smitten, but this is just a much, much bigger game than Smitten. Smitten is 18 cards. This is 1,300 cards. So yeah, I love that. I would want to bring a cooperative game with me if I was only bringing 5 games. And this is also my answer to your last question, which is if my friend arrives at Turkish Customs and is told that I can only bring 1 of those 5 in, it would be Vantage. I ended with Vantage for a reason. It would be Vantage. I just really, really love this game, and I'm excited to share it with people. I'm excited to play a lot more myself, and I could see myself, if I had to choose one of our games, this would be the game right now that I would choose to bring and play a lot of. So yeah, thanks so much for these questions. I am sorry that those of you in Turkey are caught in this situation where the number of games that you can bring into the country is very limited. That's really unfortunate because at Stonemaier Games, my goal is to serve our customers and to bring joy to you. So if there are things in the way of us bringing joy to you, that's unfortunate. That's sad. And I hope we can work around that and work through that together in the future. So yeah, thanks for these questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment below and I'm happy to answer them. Thanks.